thing. Uh, hmm. Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to get some stuff over here. Today was rough because we had to do some uh, couple of services and all that. Hi, Lydia. Ooh, Lydia, my father, my mom, and sister say hi. Okay, from Texas. What are you guys doing in Texas? Eek. Oh, better in the East. Jerry, how do you have a restaurant or something? I don't know what you have because do you mind if I eat a little bit because I haven't eaten? I mean, I did eat. We had an Easter meal, but I went to deliver some food over to excuse me, to a person who didn't have any Easter dinner. So I went over. Father Tom and myself and the other priest thought, well, send them some food. So we did. So that was a nice thing to do on Easter. We had enough food to eat from eating chocolate. Okay, now today I'm just gonna see if you're gonna send in your questions and me getting thin. God, I get no respect. The other day, this little kid was in the parish, and I was just passing by. And he goes, "Where are you going, Father?" And I go, "I'm gonna go for my beauty sleep." And he goes, "God, I guess we won't see you anymore." I mean, I had to chase that kid for a block, and I couldn't reach him. I get no respect. When I was a little boy, when I took my first step, my father tripped me. I get no respect. Oh, I finished eating. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Lawrence. Dang. Oh, hi, Eva. I thought I'd just tell jokes today. And if you want to ask questions, you can ask questions. Viva's watching. Oh, and David Castaneda. Oh my God, you guys. I always think of you, but I never contact you sometimes because there's just too many of you guys around and gals. There was this doctor, and he goes, "Please hurry. My son swallowed a razor blade." And the doctor says, "Don't panic. I'm coming immediately. Have you done anything yet?" He goes, "Yes. I shaved with the electric razor." Was that a good joke or was that a good joke? And then one day I went to the doctor. I said, Doctor, you got to help me. Okay, those are kind of crummy jokes, aren't they? Oh, but I am getting Alzheimer's, really. And this isn't funny, but to me, but this doctor says, I got very bad news for you. You've got cancer and Alzheimer's. And I did have both. And so I said, well, at least I don't have cancer. Okay, so those are stupid jokes. I mean, shouldn't be talking about those. Those are not good jokes for now. Um, yeah, oh, that's another thing. I went to my eye doctor and I said, doctor, whenever I drink coffee, I have an excruciating pain in my eye. And he goes, well, try to remember next time to remove the spoon from your cup before drinking. That did help a lot. Um, oh my, but silly jokes. These are silly jokes. Hi, Yakira. How are you? Yakira's such a wonderful young lady and her husband. Beautiful people. How many kids do you have now? Like about 20? No, no. I remember the sad thing that happened the first time. But I think you have children now, I think. I haven't seen you for a long time. Thank God. I mean, not that I haven't seen you a long time, but that you have kids now. And there's Annette Robles, her was your granddaughter or your grandchild or whatever she was to you. She's a great actress. She was in my plays. Hi, Anna Luna. Anna Luna and Rosie. Oh, I shouldn't. I'm not supposed to say last names. I'm sorry, Anna and Rosie Anonymous. They're wonderful people. They're two little sisters who live together and who are some of the nicest people on the planet of the us. Okay, so James Nguyen. Oh, hi, Jim. How are you doing? Are you around? Are you? Yeah, you are. How's life? It's doing okay, I think. Eva. Oh, that's nice. Glad to see you're doing great. Well, I'm not that great. It's been hectic. And then I went to the optometrist and I told him, I go to one. I used to go to one in Beverly Hills. Ooh, because that's where my insurance sent me. They were just as good as the ones in East LA, no better. Oh, so I said, Doctor, you know what? I'm seeing spots before my eyes. And he said, didn't the new glasses help? I said, well, yeah, but now I see the spots much clearer. Yeah, that's what happened to me. Gee, these jokes are really crummy, aren't they? um, Arturo Lopez is watching, and Rick Montes. Rick is my nephew, and he's married to the one who makes the best lumpia in the whole world. Mabuti, ¿cómo está acá? Nakakaindia ho konting Tagalog, konte konte. I'm talking Tagalog. Okay, that's all I know. They think I know more, but that's all I know. Teresa Arevalo is watching. Very good. Um, oh, and then I don't know what I was thinking, but I went to uh, to the DMV and they go, "Do you want to be an organ donor?" And I said, "No." But once I gave an old piano to the Salvation Army. But I mean, you know how that is. That's a bad joke. Jeez, it's getting worse. Haven't seen you since last year when you said services for Miguel Robles. Miguel Robles is a runner. I have to tell you about this brother Tom. He had the best cross country team in the whole state in the whole United States. He just worked them to death all the time. He was my closest friend, and Miguel was one of his runners. They called him the Keegan boys. And Brother Keegan was a super religious person. He was a saint. I lived with a saint. I wasn't a saint. I was not that good. Oh, you know what I'm going to show you? I'm going to show something that's really cool. I think I brought everything that I needed to show you now. Before I didn't bring the whole kazoo, but now I think I have everything here. Uh-oh, I think I lost something. I don't know where it went. Where are you? Hello, little one. Where are you? Oh well. Anyway, so you see, I had the top of this one. You take a bottle, but it's supposed to be a big one. I'm pretending this is a big bottle, okay? And you see how it has this kind of like a label attached to it. Well, you take this label off. See this little thing right here? The label. You take that off of the bigger bottles, okay? Not this one. The big bottles, okay? Especially the root beer bottle. I'm not supposed to say this A&W, but they're really good bottles. So, oh, here it is. Okay, so here's your bottle. Okay, pretend here's your bottle. Okay, and you poured the soda out, of course. Make sure you pour the soda out. And here's the bottom. Okay, now you cut the bottom off with a razor blade. Don't let the children do this. Okay, then you cut it all around and you take it off. See, I took off the bottom. Ooh. Hi, Rick, cousin. He says, hi, Uncle Jesse. Daniel Gonzalez, how are you doing? Daniel Gonzalez. Let me tell you about this guy. He's an artist. And I don't know how this happened, but he has got some of his art was chosen to be put into the Smithsonian Institute. Mexican cutout art, super. He was the first one to do some kind of a thing with laser, something like that. Are you watching me? Yeah, but it's just his stuff is really good. I mean, if you need somebody to do your I have his invitation here. Just wedding, but I can't show you the name. Well, I already did. But look at this beautiful thing. That's just telling you to save the date. It's all done in wood, whatever you call it. What do you call it, Daniel? What do you call this stuff of art? It's just beautiful. And then he gave me this and he even signed it. Oh, what a nice man. I told him, sign it. And so he gave, look at this beautiful thing. Now, you can't really see the beauty of it because until you see this, see when you put it against the light, the silver shows up. And it's all done on this really intricate thing. Thank you, Daniel. Aha, he's laughing. Oh, it's called letterpress. Thank you. I'm not supposed to show you this because it's from KFC. Mm. Don't you just hate these straws that are made out of paper? The last time I was sucking up paper through the straw. Not good. So they got all the little plastic straws. What about all this stuff? Jeez, who are these people? So anyway, okay, so you cut the bottom of it off, and then you cut the top of it off. Hi, Ryan. Okay, you cut that, Mauricio. You cut the top of it off. So you cut the top and the bottom off. And remember what I told you where it has the label? Well, that's what's going to show up. You can't take that off. It's glued. That's where you cut down this the bottle. You already have the top off, the bottom off. And what happens is when you open it up, you get a rectangle. And what you do is you trim the top of it to make it straight, and you trim the bottom if you didn't cut it straight the first time. Then you also round out the corners, otherwise you'll scratch your face and it'll make it worse than it is already. Okay, then you put it on. And man, it sticks. You don't even have to do what they said. They said, get an old pair of glasses, get tape, and tape it to the top of the glasses, just the middle part. Because if you tape these, it's going to go back like that. You won't be able to put them around your ears. So, what do you think? Isn't that cool? And it's better than those masks, those silly things. But except for this little part. So I wear a mask, and then I wear this. People think I look goofy, but I tell them, well, it's either this or you're going to look goofy. So yeah, so this is what I did. Isn't that nice? I didn't think of this myself. I'm not that intelligent, but I thought I got it from the internet. But some people don't know it. No, excuse me. Now, oh, and then please, I made a big mistake. I told you to get one of these hair dryers, put it on the lowest level, and then you put it on. But first, you get a water. No, okay. Pretend this is a spray bottle, and you go. You spray your face, and then you slowly go because they say that it kills. It's a lie. They sent me a note over the internet that tell me this is a fake news. So I'm sorry if I told you that. And then I'm also sorry when you bought this for me because I didn't have one. So somebody says, we'll buy you one. I can really use it. You know what I mean? But yeah, so thank you for buying this for me. I'll use it for my arts and crafts. I can dry the glue better. Okay, let me see. Uh, Daniel is saying product placement. Okay. Genius. Oh no, I'm not a genius. Wow, it gets foggy. Yeah, it does get foggy, but it's better to get foggy than get something else. Mauricio, is that you? Oh, my friend. He was a little guy that was my little guy. Was a big guy that was in my club when I was at St. Mary's. Oh, I'll share some things with you. I don't know if you want to see this, but ouch! I think I showed it to you. This is my show off piece. Before Stan Lee passed away, he sent me this, which I framed. You like it? It says, it says, um, what does it say? Oh, it says to Father Jesse, and that's he's saying it like a little cartoon blurb. And then the other guy is Spider Man saying, "Wow, he's a good guy." And then he signed it right here. Well, I'm not really that good of a guy, but I try. I'm like Avis; they try harder. Okay, now, oh, and then this is my real treasure. This is when I went to Rome, and I was chosen because nobody else wanted to go to be a journalist, to study journalism for a week there with the editor of La Stampa. Ooh, big tongue guy. So anyway, this is what we went to the Pope. We went to see the Pope, Saint right here. He's a saint, Saint John Paul. Okay, right there. And this is me right there with hair. And okay, then they told us to take a picture, and I was right behind him. Where was I? I can't even recognize myself. I was right behind him, right here. See, right here? I was right behind the Pope. I didn't know what happened. I was so emotional that when he turned around, looked at me, I just kind of like, yeah, I almost fainted. But he was such a holy man. I mean, holy, holy, holy. All the popes that we've had, thank God, are not warmongers like they were in the old days and swords and killing and ugly things and happening in the Vatican itself. But these popes that we've had are just wonderful. I love the one now, Francis. I would love to meet him. Do you know that? Do you know Father Jimmy? Who knows Father Jimmy? Let me see. Father Jimmy. Okay. Nobody, yeah, some people know Father Jim Nieblas. He's the director over at our school in L.A. Well, he got to meet the Pope, our Pope now, Francis, for 8 whole minutes because he belongs to a native tribe in Los Angeles, no, in San Juan Capistrano. And that tribe was one of the tribes that was ministered to by Saint Fray Junipero Serra. He's one of the founders of the main founder of the 21 missions we have, although he didn't found all of the missions, but he's the one that started them off. And he's buried in San Juan, but no, he's buried in Carmel. Okay, he's buried in the mission in Carmel. Very holy man, too. They almost didn't canonize him because it's that he had whipped the Indians and all that. Well, in those days, they try to keep the Indians in the compound where they built the missions, like in a square. Okay. And because the conquistadors were really bad men, they were trying to keep them away from those evil men. Some of them were evil, not all. Hi, Norma. Hi, Joseph again. And hi, Andrew He. Oh, my God, Andrew. How are you? Andrew He was directed. I have a picture here somewhere from, well, we appeared in the newspaper because he was a director of The Outsiders, one of our plays. He was the director, not just, pretend director. He directed the play. And he also made a gigantic, huge sign. His dad made it for us, and still, I remember all that stuff. Ken Castillo. Ken, are you the one that was in my play at Salesian? There's a Ken Castillo, and I don't know if it was you. I keep on thinking it was. And happy Easter to all of you. And so I'm just telling stories and telling jokes that are really kind of not that good. Hmm. So what's the difference between a general practitioner and a specialist? Because I have to go in. I was supposed to go in last time around, but then this happened, and said don't come. And so, what's the difference between a general practitioner? I'm eating candy, and a specialist. One treats what you have, and the other one thinks you have what he treats. Is that pretty good? That's pretty good. Not really, but anyway. Um, I'm going to have to clean my hands because now I have chocolate all over them. Okay. Oh, the worst one was when this doctor, I didn't really like him that much. And I said, I see. Well, he came up to me and he said, um, you're very sick. I didn't feel very sick. And I said, can I have a second opinion? And he goes, of course. You're ugly too. Oh, well, that wasn't very nice. Hmm. Uh-huh. That's amazing. Okay, so happy Easter, all of you. We should say some prayers too, because this, after all, is supposed to be a hi, Amanda. Amanda, and oh, you're not going to believe this, but Amanda is married to a very close friend of mine, John Engel. And we were together. He was a Salesian, a brother with me, and we were living on the third floor of a all cement building. The whole thing, the walls and everything. It was pasted onto, I don't know how you say it, but it was pasted onto another building, 3 stories high. So it was there. We had an earthquake in 1971. I'll never forget it. It was humongous. And what happened was that where the two buildings were joined, they started separating and cement was coming down. And we had 30 kids up there. There was a boarding school in those days. It was really the worst years of my life because boarding schools are tough. You get up in the morning, the kids, you have to wake them up early in the morning. Then you have to go. Then somebody comes up, one of the directors or a priest comes up, takes care of your for about an hour, and we're down in the chapel meditating and have mass. And then we run up and we take care of the kids. We get them ready for these are eighth graders. We get them ready for school. They go to school, then there's 1,000 kids coming in from the outside. and you have to teach all these subjects. I was teaching. Oops, my phone is dying. I was teaching. You're not going to believe this. I was teaching. Hi, Allison. Hi, Louise. I was teaching. I have to put this there because it's dying. My phone, it says low battery. I should have, I should have done this before. But you know me, I'm always on time and I'm always planning everything perfectly. Yeah, right. So, okay, I'll leave it there. I'm at an angle. So where were we? Oh yeah. So then we get the kids all brushed up to go to school, and then after school, do we have time to prepare our classes? No, we have to go out and recreate with the kids, play basketball, football. And how lousy I am. So after that, they go to study hall, and we have 1 whole hour to prepare. And these are the classes I was preparing: English one, religion one, Spanish two, Latin one, Latin two, and theater arts. That was the elective. When do you prepare for that? When you have to stay with the kids up till 10, till they're all asleep? We had some nice kids, though. One of them was very nice. His name was Joe, and he would say his rosary more than I would. Every night you'd see him like praying this little rosary. He was only in the 8th grade. Miss you too, Louis. Yeah, spreading the word of the Lord. Yes. Happy Easter, Louis Davila. Nice. Amanda Keithing. Oh, and so I was talking about my friend, um, and so John and myself were taking care of the dorm, and I was supposed to be like the fun guy, you know, the guy that's, and he was like really tough. I mean, he was a tough guy. He wasn't really tough, but he was pretending to be tough with the kids. Otherwise, they destroy the whole place. We had one of the best dorms, though. We really did. Our kids were really neat. Happy Easter, even. So then So then John and I would play tricks on each other. It was mainly I was playing tricks on poor John. I think I tortured him. Um, one day he was really upset because the kids were really making a lot of noise and they were just jumping up and down, and they hadn't done that. I think it was they had too much sugar or something. That we fed them too, of course. And so he goes, "All right, keep quiet." And everybody was quiet. And he goes, "If I hear another peep, I'm going to kick you out." And I'm behind him and I go, "Peep." Oh my God. He grabbed me and he threw me out. All the kids were going, "Nah." Then after that, he turned around and he looked at me. They all stopped. And then I was in the door going, "Let me in, John," because there's a little window in there. So this is a true story, really. It was horrible. But I did it, the worst thing I've ever done to him. I'll never forget this, and I never do it again. Never, ever, ever. Even if you pay me a million zillion dollars, I'll never do this again. It was late at night, and I knew John was coming up, and somebody brought a rifle in, and they had blanks in there, and I'm going, "Oh, this is a lot of," not knowing that John knew how to respect any firearm, and he knew about them, and he knew the harm they could do. Well, me, East LA. When do we have firearms in East LA? Yeah, right. Well, I never did. Okay, never. I was a good boy. Catholic school, everything. So then, Catholic schoolboys also carry arms. So then I said, let's try a trick on John when he comes in. I was telling my friend. So he goes, "Okay, load it up." So I'm about 50 feet away, and he opens the door, and I go, bam, thinking, it's just going to be a little noise. This gigantic flame comes out of the muzzle. You know, he just dives to the floor. I mean, he literally dove. I think he broke a couple of ribs. And then he stood up and he saw me because I turned on the lights, and he gave me a thrashing. Not, like beating me up, but he explained to me how we should never do that. Never, ever point anything like that, even if it's a play gun, at anybody. Well, play guns are okay as long as they have the little orange nipple in the front. But yeah, so I was pretty mischievous. Oh yeah, I says, "Promise you'll never upset him again. It's my turn now." Okay. His wife is telling me that she's going to upset him again. No, she won't do that. She's a nice lady. Thank you for inviting us last time, me and my friend Nick. Okay, it was just great. It was one of the best days I've had in years, really, to tell the truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Irma, hi, happy Easter to you too. Myrna too. Louis again. Yeah, I know. I miss you guys in Boyle Heights. I was in Boyle Heights, uh, but that was a great time. Well, I'm not from East LA. People think I'm, you know, what's going on. I think I'm from East LA, but I'm not. I'm from Midtown. I was born about 3 blocks away from City Hall, but before they had leveled the hill that was it was called Bunker Hill, and over here was a City Hall, and over here was us in a Filipino community, Filipino. Right now, there's a huge sign there that says Filipino something community, memorial something. Yeah. Historical Filipino community. That's where I was born. And just I loved being downtown LA when I was a little boy. I was there till I was about 6, and I mean I'm an LA boy, right in the middle of LA. Yes, yes, let's do it again. Oh, mushrooms. Oh, I was sorry. I felt badly because she made some great mushrooms. I know people just savor them, and I can't stand them. I don't know why. I really don't. I just can't. Maybe I should try them. No, but I'm afraid. I don't know what I'm afraid of. But anyway, but the food was excellent. Thank you, Amanda. Well, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so I lived, and you know what? Angel's Flight. You know that if you've gone to L.A., there's a little funicular. The train goes like this and meets in the middle and goes. They pass each other. Never had an accident. We see it used to be on Second Street. Now they moved it to Fifth Street, and they hadn't had it there for years. It was in storage someplace in southern LA in a stockyard somewhere. But it was it was it only cost 5 cents at that time, and my mom and I would ride up and then have to walk down to where we lived in the backwoods there. Well, they leveled the mountain, and now the cathedral's there. The cathedral is right there where I was. Well, not born, but where I was brought after I was born. And then on the kitty corner to that is the music center. So it was like a prognostication. It was like a foretelling of the future that I had talents in the arts and that I was going to be a priest. Well, anyway, that's wishful thinking, you know, yeah, right. So, happy Easter. Yeah, they're all saying happy Easter. Dylan is watching. He loves your stories. Oh, that's nice. I know you like tacos and burritos. Yes, I do. Father Jesse with Manuel and Rosemary Galvan. Oh, hi, Manuel and Rosemary Galvan. Oh, it's so nice. You know, I really miss you. Oh, I should go get a picture of your daughter. I have her up there in my room still. Okay, and yeah, I think that's Manuel and Rosemary. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those were good times. Oh, Norma wants to bring me enchiladas. Yeah, Norma. I love enchiladas. I make great enchiladas. Do you know how to make enchiladas? Some of you don't, okay? But I will show you how I make my enchiladas. First, you get a frying pan, low frying pan. I don't know how to name these pans. Another low frying pan, okay? Uh, Round. Yeah, well, of course, they're not square. And then you put about this much, that would be about half an inch of oil, cooking oil. I like Mazola because it's very, corny. Okay, so then you put it over here and then you light it and then you let it get really, really hot. So it's kind of like not boiling, but it's pretty hot. Okay. Then you keep it at that level. Not that it's, but it's hot oil. On this side, you pour in a can of Las Palmas. I'm not pushing this, but I'm not going to get chilies and make them because I can't stand chilies that are very, very hot, and that's mild compared to the chilies that some people eat that have cast iron stomachs. I don't have a cast iron stomach. And you're not Mexican. Well, of course I'm not. I'm a Mexican American, but not a good one either because I don't like cilantro. I don't like some some of the tamales. Shh. I don't like a lot of stuff that Mexicans do love, and I am a Mexican American, and I'm proud of it. And And what was I saying? See, I told you it's coming. My Uncle Al, Alzheimer's. My mind's going. So, so where were we? Oh yeah, then my enchiladas are burning. Okay, so then you get a tortilla, and you have those little thongs, and you get the little thong, and you get the tortilla, and you put it in the frying. You fry it in the oil, so it'll go. It'll be pretty hot, and you only leave it in there for about 3 seconds. So one side, the other side, and then you stick it into the. It really solidifies it a little bit more, so you can do what you're going to do later on. It doesn't fall apart. So then you put it into the sauce. But a lot of people don't do this. They wrap up the whatever they're going to have, then they put the sauce on top. Mm-mm, that doesn't work. It's not tasty. Okay, so then you soak it in, let it soak in to the chili sauce, which is, oh, you also have to heat that up just a little bit, not too much, not too that it's boiling, but you have to heat it up a little bit. So you put it in there, you let it soak for about, I'd say, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds, and then you pull it out and you put it on a plate. Then you get the cheese and you put the cheese in. You can choose whatever you want. I like Monterey Jack. And or you can buy that stuff at the store where I grate my own cheese. Grate. I don't grate it like cheese A, cheese B plus. No, I grate it, and then I put it in there like this. And then I love to cut up the onion, dice it very very tiny, choop 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 choop, and then the other way choop 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 choop, and cut it. Gives you little tiny pieces, and you put a little bit in there, gives you flavor, and then you roll it up, and then you put them in. What do you call it? Microwave type of thing, but you're going to put it in the oven. Don't put it in the microwave. It'll dry up the tortilla and it'll taste like oh, cardboard. So then you pile them up. You put a row of them down this one, maybe about 10 or 11. Remember those glass dishes, those glass, what do you call them, containers? Something, I forget. But anyway, they can take the heat. What are they called? I forget. So anyway, you pile them on like this. And then this is the secret. You I like salad and enchiladas. Rebecca, you are not a real Mexican. Okay, so then, oh, Rebecca, she's a soprano. She used to sing opera. She's very good. Hi. So then, oh, a casserole dish. Thank you, Linda. You put a casserole dish, you put the enchiladas in. Oh, before you put the enchiladas in, you get some of the leftover chili and you brush it in there, okay? So it's nice, it'll keep them nice and moist. And then you put them in, and then you put more chili on top of those, and then you put another row of them. It's like making Mexican lasagna. And then once you do that, you put it in the oven, 450 degrees first. Well, I usually put cheese on top, and when I see the cheese is melted, that's it. I bring them out and then you put the salad on the side with a little bit of oil, and you'll like it. Hi, Luce. Hi, David and Richard and Rebecca and David and yeah, okay. So yeah, so I love telling jokes, but sometimes they don't come out that well. I don't know why. Yeah. And I think I told you the one about. Well, this isn't a joke. This happened to me. Oh, by the way, if you're coming up to San Francisco, I'll give you tours. All right. I give very good tours. Um, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to do it anymore, and I won't do it to you. You know what I did to John? I shot him with a shotgun at night, and I didn't know this huge flame was going to come out, scared the living, you know what, out of me, and also scared him. Of course, I was trying to scare him, but not like that. I'll never do that again. But I also will never do this again too. One of our major superiors, like the Pope's assistant, but it's the assistant of our what we call rector major. He's like the number one Salesian in the world. Well, his assistant came and said, "Oh, you have to give him a tour because I give great tours. I'll take you to where Mrs. Doubtfire's house is. I'll take you to where they filmed Sister Act. I'll take you to the crookedest street in the world. I'll take you to the real crookedest street in the world, which is not the one out there that everybody goes to, but there's one over here on our side, more crooked. So I'll take you all over the place, places of where you people don't usually get to go. Oh yeah, they all go to the four houses and Full House. but they don't go to the real house that they use with the red door, which is way further across town. So I know all those little ins and outs. And so they tell me, okay, now you're going to take this priest out. He's like, whoa. So I said, okay, well, hi, Father, how you doing? So I take him out. But what I do to my guests is I scare the living daylights out of them. This is what I do. It's at night because it's better at night because you can't see that much well. But if you don't know where you're going, you can't see anything really. You just have to point it out. Well, there's a big building over there, that other big building over there, that little teeny weensy building over there. Then there's like Jacqueline Kennedy when he's showing the White House, and that little, remember the record they made about Jacqueline Kennedy? Oh, that's funny. And so I show him the whole town, and then I take him up the street, and then there's a street called Filbert, okay? And it's like, I'll tell you how it is. I'll try to show you using this Don Bosco movie, which you should get. It's like this. I'm not joking. You go in the car, and then you see the car, then it goes like this, okay? So I'm telling the people as I'm doing this, and like I'm not paying attention. I'm saying, sometimes we have these like uh, borders or fences that sometimes fall over, and people have been known to have just driven over this cliff and gone down and goodbye Columbus. So then, oh, that's another big day in San Francisco, Columbus Day. But now, the Native Americans in Columbus. Okay, so anyway, as I'm talking to them, I said, sometimes they have these barriers, and sometimes like they fall over, and you can see the city, okay, from that street at night, because all the little lights are about 1,000 miles away, and there's nothing in between. So I'm going, and yes, and then sometimes, and I'm going over the edge, and the car doesn't touch, the tires don't touch till they go like this, and then boom, they touch. So the priest is going in Italian, la strada, la strada, and I go, and then I go, che cosa padre? And Don, whatever his name was, and I mean, it's frightening. Even when I go over 1,000 times, I still think, wouldn't it be funny if really there was an earthquake and the street had really gone away? So and so the guy was crying. I mean, it wasn't funny. The guy was crying. I mean, tears. And I go, Father, I'm really sorry. And he goes, oh, well, sta bene, sta bene. And I go, yeah, right. My secretary won't talk to me anymore after I did that to her. My sister was, God bless her, she's in heaven. But it's not a good thing to do. So don't do it. Don't do it. You can do it in San Francisco because of the hills. You know what I mean? Hi, Yoli. David. He says, I'm hungry now. Okay, well, the enchiladas were cool. Yeah. Yeah. What's that? Oh, yeah. I think I told you this. We have to divide the money as to what goes to, hi, Carl, what goes for the church, which would mean what goes to God, and then what comes to me. Okay. So how do we do that? Well, I had a meeting with my friends. It was a rabbi and a Protestant minister, a friend of mine, a reverend, and then myself, a priest, Catholic. So we were talking, and I go, how do you divide the money? How do you know how much to give to the Lord and the church, and how much you keep for yourself? And Rebecca said, you took us to the Oakland Cathedral. Oh, it's beautiful too. Okay, I'll take you there next time again. So Tony, I remember your mom and dad. They're lovely. Elsie, how you doing, Yoli? Okay. So then I said, so how do you divide the money? And so the rabbi says, what we do is we make a circle and we throw the money into the air. And whatever falls in the circle belongs to God. And everything outside the circle belongs to the rabbis. I said, that's beautiful, Rabbi. That's beautiful. And then the Protestant minister said, okay, well, don't call them Protestants. That's not a good name. They don't like to be called that, believe it or not. They're Christians like we are. So he says, we make a line on the floor, and then we throw all the money in, all the collection, we throw it up in the air, and whatever falls on the right side is God's. And whatever falls on the left side is for us ministers. And oh, that's nice. And for the church. That's very good. And he goes, well, what do you do, Catholics do, you Catholic priest? I said, well, I get all of the money that we make in the collection. I throw it up in the air. And then I say, God, whatever you want, you just take up there. And whatever falls down is for us. Okay. That's not really true. But I just thought I'd say that because it's a funny joke, I think. Um, yeah. Oh, it's almost time. Hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I was telling Doctor jokes a little while ago. Yeah, some of them are pretty good, and some of them are really not that good. I like to get them. Oh, if you really want to laugh, just go to any computer and then put down best, and then put anything you like best priest jokes, best religious jokes, best any jokes, and and then you'll get a million of them on your computer. That's all you have to do. Don't put it www da da da. No, just put best. Hi, Jaime. He's my other nephew. How are you doing, Jaime and Marco? Good. Okay. Then let me see. Oh, there's this nurse that I know, and she was doing the rounds in the hospital, and she couldn't help overhearing the surgeon, and he was going typhoid, tetanus, measles, yelling out loud. And then she asked one of her colleagues, "Why does he keep doing that?" He says, "Oh, he likes to call the shots around here." Okay, that went over like a lead balloon. Yeah. Okay. So, how are you? How's the family? Jaime, good. His son looks exactly like he did when he was his age. I know because he was a little boy when I knew him, and I still know him. Yeah. Ah, that's amazing. So, yeah. So, what else have I done? Oh, well, my life is just as funny as any joke, really. So, oh, you're going by Rebecca. So, yeah, I've done some pretty interesting things in my life. And one of my best friends, Father Chris Wertz, died unfortunately. And he never told me. I mean, I was his best friend, and he was my best friend. He was such a great guy. If you only knew him, he was nationally famous. And his little puppet Linus, he was a puppeteer. Linus, he he was given an honorary PhD from the University of San Francisco. He was that good, and he was on EWTN and all that, but telling religious stories. Like uh, like the one where he's talking about the sheep and the goats, and then Linus is telling the story about the sheep and the goats, and then he says, and then the goats were told, "Go away, go away from me," Jesus says, and so he says, "Go to the inferno," and man, everybody started laughing. He was very good. Well, anyway, hi Linda. Oh, wait a minute, Linda, could you put that thing in there again? I didn't know what you asked. You got the coffee. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Um, Linda has this coffee company, her husband, and they make these great, what do you call it? Coffee blends. One of them is Aztec Gold or something like that. I forget what it is. What is it? It's really, really good. It's really good. Yeah, I miss him. Everybody says, I miss. Oh, you're talking about when I met Cesar Chavez. Oh, yeah, that was neat. Cesar Chavez slept in my room with these huge, gigantic dogs that were protecting him because they were going to kill him. So were trying to find a place where nobody would. Okay, well, it was an old convent. It had just been abandoned, and we Salesians moved into San Francisco, even though we had to go to Berkeley for school. And Cesar Chavez shows one day with all these big bodyguards and these dogs. Well, they stayed in my room because I wasn't there for 2 weeks or something. I missed them. And so when I came back, my room and my bed were filled with fleas. I mean, filled. So I had to do the whole thing and all stuff. Well, anyway, Father Chris and I did some really weird things. Um, there was this little Chinese priest that came from China. He was also a PhD candidate, and he was a little guy that smiled. Oh, I really like it, really like it, that sort of stuff. So, oh, Father, you're good to me, you're good to me, that sort of stuff. So he was learning English too. So, brilliant man from Hong Kong, and he was staying with us, and we went to see The Exorcist. Oh my God, I couldn't sleep for 2 days, and I'm a religious brother at the time, and it just scared the living daylights out of me. So then we told him, go see it. No, I don't want to go see it. I said, I'll pay your way. Okay, I go. So then he went. And he goes, it was really scary. And I go, yeah, and it was really scary, Father. I'm sorry. I meant it. I got so scared. And I go, I know, Father. It's okay. Go to sleep. So in the meantime, we had this paper mache head, just the head, and it was kind of like whitish. So we went to the roof because you can go up to the roof where you could see the city, and we lowered the head down on a piece of string, and we banged it against his window. It wasn't funny. So when he heard the sound and opened his curtains, you could hear this shrill scream. And that was just on the day he saw The Exorcist. I was still scared 2 days after I saw The Exorcist. I mean, it was horrible. So then, to make things work, we took this thing up, and he was still screaming. And then we went to his door, and we started first of all just dirty tapping it, like boom, 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 boom. And then we ran and hid right away. And he opened the door and goes, "Oh!" He started screaming, and it goes, "Jesse, is that you?" He knew it was. He knew, but he was still scared. So anyway, Chris and I did some really weird things like that. We had a lot of fun, and we were adults at that time. So then Chris is dying, and he was in the hospital, and they had just amputated his leg. Oh, and I went to visit him. And one day, he was going in for an operation, and he went in that day, and I was in San Francisco, and he was in LA in Garden something or other, one of the nice hospitals there. And we were talking on the phone. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was saying, "No, I hope you're doing okay." Yeah, I'm doing okay. It was kind of down, so I said, "You know what?" So I hung up. I got in the car and I drove down. Took me about 6 hours, and so it was in the evening now, and I opened the curtain. He almost had a heart attack. So anyway, back to this. Years and years later, he's dying. Really was dying. It was really hurtful to me, my best friend. But he never said that. He never said, "Oh, you're my best friend," and all that. So I walk in, and he's talking to the doctor. He's facing the doctor, the window, the doctor, and then him. And he's talking to him. He has his leg amputated. You could see it. That day they amputated his leg. And then I walked in, and he would turn, whenever I told him, he'd just turn into like a big switch like that. I always did that. So he, I tell him, the doctor says, "Oh, you have a visitor. Do you know who it is?" And he goes like this. And then he looks at the doctor. He is my best friend. Well, tears rolling down my cheek, but I kind of brushed them away. The next day, he passed away. It was one of the hardest times of my life. And then that same year, my best friend from first grade died. And he was a wonderful man. He was uh, a probation officer that helped so many kids. He was like Don Bosco, really. He was. He wasn't a mean guy. He wasn't a, I don't care about you. He'd invite kids to his home, but really take care of them, and would get him jobs. And he was just wonderful. He went to school with me. And, oh, somebody wants to tell you when I came out in the movie shot. No, I don't want to tell. Well, I'll tell them in a little while, okay? The time I went to the that only. Oh, when I went to the library, the Vatican Library, with only special access. Yay! No, I'm not going to say those stories. Let me finish this story. Okay, so hi, Gloria. So the next day he passed away. So on his funeral service, I did a monologue between me and Linus. It was really neat. I thought it was neat. I just pretended I was Linus and Father Jesse. I'm saying, "Hi, Linus." He goes, "Hi, Father." He goes, "I'm really sad today." "Yes, I know. I lost my voice." And I go, "Then how can you talk?" He goes, "Oh, because its spirit is still in me." And went on like that. People were crying, and I was crying. But anyway, my that was Father Chris. But then my best friend, his name was Alfred. I knew him from the first grade. We were together till high school. And after high school, I went to seminary. He went to become a probation officer, one of the best. And he was so good that when I had the mass, Father Greg Boyle, the world famous Jesuit priest that worked with gangs, you should read his books; they're excellent. And Father John from he's another famous priest, and he's in a Resurrection Church. Father John, he's a pastor there, and so Father John was on my side, and Father Greg Boyle was on my other side. Can you imagine? Because he was so well known, Alfred, and I was his best friend. So about towards the end of the mass, when they were singing this beautiful hymn, I just broke down and I couldn't continue. So Father Greg was very nice to continue the mass for me with Father John. I was just devastated. It was too many people dying that were so beautiful in my life. And now I have nobody. All my best friends are gone. No, you're my best friends. So I'm not that one. Oh, he wants to know. Oh, okay. I just so happen to have the movie here. This is the movie I'm in. It's called Shot. I can't show it to you because I got it in my phone over here. But you can see it. Maybe I'll show it to you next time. I was in this movie. It was shown one day and then it went out of circulation. I think because it's anti-gun, and Trump doesn't like. It was a good movie. The guy who directed it, um, he came to our place, and his name is Jeremy Kagan, and he teaches at USC at the School of Film, the film school there, which is one of the best in the world because of Lucas and Spielberg went to that school. They pour in a lot of money. And I'm really proud of one of my students, and I can't think of her name. If anybody can think of her name, write it down. Oh yeah, thanks, Brian. Monsignor John Moretta, Monsignor, who's in charge of all our sector. Wonderful man. So, Nena, how are you? Nena is my Filipino, um, um, how would you call it, nemesis. We play this game, and it's not time wasting, but it's fun. It's about, I forget the name of it, but you're supposed to guess a word. You're supposed to make a word that it's like Scrabble, okay? And she's always beating me though. But you know what? I got easy cheats. It costs 1.99, and now I get words like huge words that blow her away. Like we used to be like 30 points and 20 points and 40. Now I get 150 points and she's got 5. I'm sorry, I'm cheating, Nena. She's watching. Oh God, help us. Okay, so this is Shot. Okay, and this is about this little boy. His name is Jorge Lendenborg Jr., and I'm sure you see him in a movie. He's in everything now. He's in Spider-Man 1 and 2. He's in Bumblebee. He's the love guy that likes a girl. I never saw it. He was in Alitia, the one with the big eyes, the road with eyes, and he's coming out in a big movie. Well, then he was in this movie with me, and he's Latino. He's from Costa Rica, I think, or no, from the Dominican Republic, I believe, and he's a fabulous little actor. I mean, I was just astounded. I was a no actor, really. I just direct plays and stuff, and I don't act in them. But the man came in and says, "I love your room. It's like a mess." That's what he meant. But it's like kids could live here, kids could be here, and I like the way you deal with kids. And I go, I don't want to do this. And he goes, well, we want you to be the priest in the film. And I said, no, I have to ask for permission. So I did, hoping they'd say no, but they said yes, go right ahead. I asked the authorities in the archdiocese to just check the movie out, read the script. So I did. Then I did, and so I'm in 2 scenes in that movie. It was an adventure. Mr. Hagen had, Kagan, Mr. Kagan had won the first Russian Academy Award in the history of their little Academy Awards they give out. They're not that little. So, yeah, okay. So now I've told you a lot about me, and I'd like to know something about you. So tell me something about you, the last few moments, and and the Penny Club. We had we had so many kids. I'm telling you, we had 600 kids during the summer, and during the year we had almost an equal amount, but they wouldn't all come at one shot. It was a club we had every day, and sometimes they didn't have proper facilities. They were living in camps. They were like the Nazi camps or the concentration camps of old. They were just run down. They had no roads. You have to. I said I'd never drive a bus. And guess what? I know how to do the air brakes. I know how to ride a bus with 60 passenger bus with 130 kids. Don't tell anybody. But we used to go to one camp and another camp and then bring all the kids in. We had a swimming pool. We had a gym. It used to be an old school, and then we converted it into a club. And the band was amazing. Well, this priest came in. He started it, Father Rojas, and it was just amazing. Liz was in my performing arts class in like 2002, 2003. Do you remember the young girl that went to that class at USC? They only choose like 60 people out of thousands, I'm telling you, from all over the world. And she got chosen. It's one of the 60. I was really happy for her. She would always show me little snippets of what she was doing, as best she could with her own little computer and stuff. And she was so nice. I wish I remember her name, but I can't remember. Okay, so happy Easter, everybody. I'm sorry I didn't say the rosary with you and we didn't have meditation, but we'll have that during the week and I'll have some better jokes. Yeah, those guys were lousy jokes. Yeah. So anyway, let's say one Our Father, one Hail Mary, and I'll give you a blessing of Easter, an Easter blessing. Not like the popes, Orbis et Orbis. No, but it'll be a nice blessing. Let's say the Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. May Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you for visiting me. And what I do here is I'm just trying to accompany you, maybe just sit there and watch you, or sit here and say a couple of silly little things, and also pray for you. We're going to take some meditation methods during this coming week. So I'll see you on, if you want, on, I go from Monday through Saturday at 7 p.m., but it's a Spanish mass, but there's a noon mass in English by my pastor. And then on Sundays, it's 9:30 English and 11 o'clock a.m., my Mass in Spanish. But every day of the week, I'm here at 2 o'clock in Spanish and 3 o'clock in English, just to do what we did today, but a little more fun. And we'll see what happens. And thank you oh, look, there's the LA Dodgers. Yes, yes. And the Rams. But except over here, I have to root for the Warriors and the Giants. The Warriors and the Giants, but they're pretty good, aren't they? Okay, have a nice one. God love you. Be good. Hasta la vista. Bye.